performed before, but I'm very excited. It seems very funny. So, ladies and gentlemen, give all the love in the world. Start to applause. Bring it up. And welcome to the stage.
Did you know that dog grooming is the first step towards dog pedophilia? Look, it's one of the main reasons I'm no longer a vet. Plus, sometimes as a vet, you have to put animals down. You know, your fur looks shit. You're never going to make it as a racing dog. It seems a bit mean, you know. So it looks like lettuce is the latest commodity that we're experiencing a shortage of, thanks to COVID. Have you noticed this? It has gotten so bad in my local neighbourhood, my local priest has now taken to starting all his sermons with cabbage pray. I am now a proud 30-something. Woo! Thank you, it was quite the achievement. I turned 30 last year. To be honest, it kind of freaked me out at the time, like, really freaked me out. I'm talking full-on midlife crisis, you know. And look, you might be thinking, midlife crisis at 30, that seems a bit premature. But on the other hand, it turned out to be pretty spot on for Shane Warne, so. But look, I realised I was freaking out over nothing. You know, age is just a number. You don't have to pay it any mind, it's just a number. It's like speed limits. Or blood alcohol readings. Or my court date. It's just a number. In fact, look, numbers can be lucky for some people. You know, I know heaps of people with lucky numbers, like even the royal family. Do you know Prince Andrew's lucky number? Anywhere in the teens. Speaking of, have you heard of this half plus 7 rule? Basically, it says that if you're dating someone who's a bit younger than you are, and you're not sure if it's okay, you simply calculate that they at least half your age plus 7 years. If you can find someone who's at least half your age plus 7, yeah, all good, you're in the clear. At least that's the way my first boyfriend in primary school explained it to me. He helped me do the maths on my fingers. He was such a good teacher. Looking back, I really do think those are some of my fondest memories of homeschool. Look, home isn't always the nicest place. You know, I will never forget the time I actually had to call the cops on my housemate when I found him for the 3rd time with his dick in the cornflakes. I know, it turns out he's a serial rapist. It was horrible. I had to file a police report and everything, and the police started asking all these questions like, yeah, but what was the serial wearing? And the further the investigation went on, the more horrible stuff came to light about my housemate. Like, it turns out he would actually profile his victims. They had to be just right. He would go for cereals that were not only low GI, but also low in self-esteem. And he was racially motivated too, you know, like he'd go for rice bubbles, but not Cocoa Pops. And in one particularly disturbing incident, he took advantage of some special pay. Look, in lighter news, Germany. It's nice that we can say that unironically these days. In lighter news, Germany. Have you heard that Germany has started using a special, like a warning label on foods for people with wheat intolerances? Yeah, they're calling it a gluten tag. It's a win for the celiacs. Fun fact, I actually lost my virginity to a celiac. He said he preferred things deflowered. say that was the worst person I've ever been with, but no, I've dated some doozies in my time. Look, I say person, I'm actually bisexual, which is great. It means there's twice as many people out there for me to eventually be rejected by. Somebody asked me after a gig once why I identify as bisexual rather than pansexual, which is fair enough. Like, they're quite similar in terms of definitions. I think for me, the main reason I don't identify as pansexual is that I fucking hate cooking. My feelings towards pans are anything but sexual. But I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to, be healthier and cook more. Sort of a New Year's resolution in July. But in an effort to kind of channel my inner 1950s housewife and get back in the kitchen, I've taken to naming some of my utensils, to make the kitchen a friendlier place. For example, this is Alexander the Great. I was so proud when I wrote that. And in case you're wondering, yes, I brought a cheese grater all the way to Frankston for one gag, so thank you for listening. Relationships, yeah. So I've dated a variety of weirdos in my life. My love life is like a rich fruit salad of disappointment. If you indulge me, let's take a look at some of the lowlights, really. There we go, we have some memories. In the fruit salad of my love life, my first ever boyfriend would be a bit like light cheese. Light cheese, those small, kind of slimy looking white balls. There's a knowing look over there. Look, stick with it, we'll grow into them, okay? My first ever girlfriend, on the other hand, was more like a pineapple. Prickly exterior, but sweet on the inside. And her juices will dribble down your chin. She's not the only pineapple I've ever dated, actually. There was one guy who was really into, titty fucking. He was more like tinned pineapple. The kind who comes in cans. Oh, and that's not a metaphor. I was just going through a dry spell. It's really hard trying to find the one, Especially in my case. I've been up here for all of 5 minutes. I trust you. I feel like I can share this with you. I'm quite adventurous in the bedroom. I've got some slightly kinky tastes, a few fetishes. And when you're in a new relationship, it's really hard to know when to bring something like that up, isn't it? I say isn't it, assuming you're all kinky fuckers. But how many dates in is it okay to just slide that ball gag across the table and hope for the best? It's awkward. So I've been pussyfooting around, scared to ask for what I really wanted, which was pussyfooting a lot of the time. So I thought it struck gold when I found a guy who said, right there in his Tinder profile, he said that he was into water sports, and I thought, me too. Give this a go. So you can imagine my disappointment when it turns out he meant polo. Although probably not as great as his disappointment when I pissed on him. I had to try and cover my tracks, cover up my mistake and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you got stung by a jellyfish." He said, "How? We're an hour from the ocean, in the middle of a restaurant. How?" So, he got pissed on, he got pissed off, and then he himself pissed off. It was sort of pissed on, pissed off. It gave a nice kind of Mr. Miyagi symmetry to the but other than that, very disappointing. And look, I wish I could say this was the only time something like that had happened, but there was the date who told me she was really into scat before taking me to a jazz club. One guy, I had high hopes for this guy. It was on our third date, and he leaned in real close, whispered in my ear seductively, "Babe, tonight I'm gonna try the angry track." And I thought, "Ooh, what is that? What is the angry dragon?" Turns out it's a Chinese restaurant on the main road. Very nice dumplings, I highly recommend it. It's really disheartening, I met the point where, like, I've given up on ever hoping to find someone who shares my tastes. Like, just the other day I was on a date with someone who, he asked how I felt about pegging, and I said, well, I've got a tumble dryer, so I hardly ever use them. I'll leave you with this hot take. I think we are spoiled for choice these days when it comes to porn. Like, there are so many types out there in increasingly debauched categories, you know? Like, there are things like Smurf porn. Smurf porn. Watch some blue balls to cure your own. There's things like amputee porn. They've got a special on amputee porn at the moment, actually. 25% off. There's even things like abortion porn. God, can you imagine? Do you know the top video in that category? 2 girls, 1 coat hanger. It's very popular in the US at the moment. I'm sorry, I didn't actually want to tell that joke myself. Something kind of came over me and made me say it. Much like a lot of women in the US, I found that I just lost a bit of bodily autonomy just then. Yeah. Look, what I want to see more of is more porn for women. I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel or anything. We can still use a lot of the same tropes. Like, I'm still picturing a boardroom full of men in suits and one woman. But instead of them all, like, fucking it, they just, like, listen to it. Acknowledge your ideas. Anyway, thank you for listening to me. I've been Jenny Lauren.
One more time for Jenny Lauren. Hey, when was that?